Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I thought it would be really fun to record the picture I am doing for the ultimate buddy color, as I like to call it. I am doing this buddy color with Jamie over at Jamafran Colors, and we've kind of created our own hashtag for it, which is KarlzonColoringCollab21, but it'll also participate in the hashtag I'm hosting this month, which is KarlzonCrazyJuly21. So 2 tags in one. But how this ultimate buddy color works is I am going to color this side of my book, and she will be coloring this side as well in her book. We're going to meet up, swap books, and color the opposite side in, each other's book. So confusing when I explain it. But basically, so we'll be finishing a page in each other's book, and it really is the ultimate buddy color, because instead of us just coloring the same page, we're coloring in one another's book. So I thought it was a really fun idea, and I wanted to film it because I don't have a ton of color alongs on my channel, and I really need to start doing that. So I think right now we will start with the skin and kind of just go from there. I don't have a palette planned out, which I thought would be a good opportunity to explain how I start a page. So when I look at a page, I kind of decide where I want to start first. Now with portraits, I usually go hair first, but I'm trying to break that habit and go skin first. So right now I am focusing on her skin, and I have a few colors for skin. I will probably pull out more for blush and whatnot, but I am using Prismacolors. I love them. They are my warm and cozy blanket, and I just felt like using them. So I am using white PC938. Oops, what's this one? Light peach PC927, peach 939, nectar 1092, and henna 1031. So yeah, let's see how this comes about. I am not the best at coloring profile. Practice makes perfect. Let's zoom you guys in a little. Okay, so I am going to start with henna. That is going to be my main shadow color. So I'm going to put it in areas where there would be obvious shadow, like this, her hair and this little headdress thingy all would create it. I'm doing a very light layer. Like, see, I'm even holding my pencil far back so that I don't press heavy, because I am naturally heavy-handed. And I need to avoid that, especially with skin. Skin, you need to lay down a few layers, even if you hate layering. I'm sorry, my friends, because I hate layering too, so I feel ya, but you gotta do it. Yeah, we'll start here and keep going. This may be multiple parts. She and I do plan to release our videos the same day, so I might just have them release back to back. So if you want to color it along with me, you can. I'm gonna say that skin, or just watch me color. It's totally up to you. Okay, now the thing with Hannah Karlzon pages is they tend to not have faces, like complete faces. Like I just finished one recently where I gave her cheeks and a chin and a nose, but her profile ones tend to have more of those details. I mean, obviously she's got to put a nose in there for you, but I'm just going to take this henna, kind of lightly pull it out, because I want to start to build that contour of the cheekbone, the luscious cheekbone that we all wish we could have. I have cheekbones hiding in there. They're just hiding under some weight that I need to lose. All right, I'm gonna add some henna under her nose. with her lips. So add some there. I like to go very light at first, just because you never know. It's easier to erase light layers than a big heavy waxy layer, especially wax. Oh my. All right, I don't know if I really want it dark over there. Okay. And then grab your nectar. What I do is I overlap the henna. One, it kind of has a interesting effect. So it adds a little depth to that henna, but also helps bring it down. And then of course helps you transition. So when you're ready to add much lighter colors, you're not just like, if I were to start right here, then there would just be lines of colors. So you don't want to blend over and you want to layer, just keep building up that color. Did that even make sense? Like, see here, I'm coloring over the henna, but that's because I want all of my skin tones to be present, because our skin, you know, has the same coloring throughout. It's just the shadows and the way the light hits it that changes it. But our skin tone is definitely the same. I mean, other, you know, minus like the little sunspots and freckles and all that discoloration that happens. Let's see. Color a little more with the nose now. This one's rough because I'm not very good at profile. I need to start practicing more on profile images. Of course, it took me a long time to just start practicing with skin in general, so baby steps. Now I am leaving a light line, but that's just gives the illusion that the chin is round, because obviously our face rounds around. And then I kind of will go back over it with another color, like a lighter color, because obviously I don't want to leave a straight white line there. That's just silly. But again, light pressure, overlapping. This area is obviously going to be a lot darker because she's got this monster thing of jewelry right there. I'm going to bring this out a teensy more. I hope you all are doing well. Had a great 4th. Hopefully the rest of your July is going well too. Not liking the way that looks. Might have to erase that. I think my eraser is in the other room though. It is, so I'll get it in a minute. Let's see, I want to... Okay, now we're gonna grab our peach. Same thing, I'm overlapping all of the colors. Layering, layering, lightly layering. I'm almost starting to find the layering of skin soothing. Now, I will be honest, most of my skin has been done on grayscale, so I really struggle with these ones where it's just straight line art, and I'm like, oh, I gotta figure this out. What is this? Of course, I have seen people take line art and turn it into the most realistic portrait you've ever seen, so it can be done. They are incredibly talented people. I can't even think of her name right now. There's a colorist on Instagram. She does the most amazing things. Like, she'll take a page like this from Hannah Karlzon and it won't even look like a Hannah Karlzon picture anymore when she's done with it. The face is so realistic. I mean, it's insane what that woman does. You'll notice I keep pulling out the cheek a little more, further and further, especially as we get closer to my lighter colors. I would love to do this on tan tone paper. That's kind of been my, like, if I'm not using grayscale, at least I have tan toned there to save me. Whereas right now, I do not. Okay, now take your light peach. Still doing a light layer. I'm still overlapping everything. Basically just overlapping and bringing it out. And there will be certain areas where I'll leave a very, very light coat of the peach because I'll go over it with white. And those will be like where I put my highlights and whatnot. Doing this is definitely reminding me I need to practice more profile. I can do those like funky, awkward profile ones that Mariola does, but it's not like straight profile. This is straight profile with no grayscale to guide me, so I'm like, doo-doo-doo. Should be fine. But yes, we won't know what each other has colored until we exchange books. So I'm recording this on Wednesday and we're exchanging on Sunday. And then we're both going to release our videos after we've already exchanged books. I got such a late start because of the kiddo's birthday party, and then I had other videos to get out. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I better start this one. we exchange books this weekend. And I want to film this, so it takes a little bit more prep work. Okay. So I'm going to go back in with my nectar. Still light pressure. Deepening a few areas. This paper, for being as smooth as it is, you can still layer quite a bit on it. Even my last portrait, I ended up taking my Crayon Dash full blender and just smoothing it out because I was like, all right, I've got enough layers, I'm done. But it could have layered up more. That's why I always giggle when people say, Prismacolor you can't layer with. I'm like, well, you can. They layer just fine. Lots of people layer with them. It's just different technique, I guess. And that's where it's... Plus, Prisma just are hard in general because you just want to smush them together because you know you can. Or at least that's just for me. I'm like, oh, layer? Why? I can smush these. Okay, let's grab our peach. I will say skin tones with Prismacolors tend to definitely be peachier, pinkish, or polys almost have more yellowish, I guess. I find the most balance with the luminance. It's just I didn't want to use Lumies on this because I'm trying to perfect my skills with Prismacolors for skin, so I wanted to kind of try to do that with this one. Okay, I'm going to go back with my light peach. So I'm very lightly going over these spots right here where I know I'm going to have white. And I'm also trying to blend out this contour so that it's not so like stark. I believe that's the term I'm thinking of. You could totally add purples to add better like shading. I'm just still so new at it that I found when I went to go and add a bunch of different colors like purples and all that, I really screwed myself up. So I've been kind of reining it back with Prismas and just doing some basic colors while I kind of build my confidence, and then I'll go winging it with like purple and blue and all those things. I'm just taking my white and I'm hitting this part of her cheek right here. That's like the top of your cheek where it gets some white. I'm just getting right here because this part of her face is so exposed that it's going to obviously have some more light to it. I'm going to run my white across the bottom. headed across her nose because I would assume her nose would catch some light. Now some people blend, also a highlight right here just because a teensy highlight here. Some people blend with their white, and you can totally do that if you don't have the Caran d'Ache blender. It's pretty close. Obviously it'll white out a few things, but it's not like dramatic and it's not going to look awful or something. Okay, so over here I want to take my light peach, just kind of blend that out a little. I just want to make sure that this isn't too much henna over here. So you have plenty of tooth, so like this paper can take a lot of layers with your Prismas. And I am going to use the Prismas for her hair. I'm going to try and make it realistic. It's kind of hard to do with Prismas though, I'm not going to lie. They're just so soft. But it can be done. I just haven't decided my color palette yet. I wanted to get her skin down and then do that later. I'm kind of thinking some pinks would be really fun to do. That is the one thing with Hannah Karlzon books that I get thrown off, is just all the jewelry, because it's like, you know, I gotta color all this in silver or gold, and I'm not a fan of gold. I can color gold, but I'm not a fan of doing it. I mean, I could use my new Coliro paints and just paint the gold on, but it just doesn't look the same. I don't know. I'll think about it. Bring this out a little more. Just keep building, and sometimes I kind of leave it. I'll start working on other parts and come back. But yeah, let's go ahead and start down here because she still has a ton of skin to work on. So let's see, so we're back with henna. I kind of figure this huge monster headpiece is going to create quite the shadow under there. And under her chin. Just remember, keep your pressure light. You can always add more. While the eraser is your friend, you don't want it to take over. Just gonna get that. And I kind of would assume there would be some shadow here. I mean, if these were not double-sided, I would totally be doing like a marker base because I really want to do that. But I also want to use the page behind it. I really should color in these books more. This hashtag has made me realize how little love these books have gotten from me. Okay. Okay. Sorry, there's going to be a lot of breaks. work, kids, all that. All right, so let's grab our nectar. Kind of like before, we're just gonna lightly overlay. Don't want it too dark. I definitely want that shadow from this monster piece here. It's like a balancing act. Now I could like add a collarbone and all those things, but I just am too lazy. Going simplified. Bring that out. Okay, so want our nectar. That in there. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the background yet, but that seems to be the story of my life with every picture. Okay, peach. I think perhaps next month I'm going to make a challenge for myself of just always starting with the background first. Because I swear the background, I will see the whole page and totally envision it, but I cannot ever think up a background. And it's kind of frustrating because I'll color an entire page and then be like, okay, well, I need to do this background, and then I'm terrified I'll ruin it because I spent all that time and effort on the page. I don't know if anyone else has that problem. I've seen so many gorgeous backgrounds created using everything from distress ink to gouache to watercolors. I really want to get some gouache. I just bought a ton of watercolors. And I need to quit buying supplies and start using the supplies I have. It's really hard to do because they come out with such cool ones. Plus gouache looks really fun. I mean, I've seen people just use it straight out of the tubes and make amazing stuff. Seems a lot less messy than watercolor, that's for sure. Like coloring with Elena, she did one with gouache and she just took it straight out of the tube. And of course made absolutely amazing work because that woman is beyond talented. I'm sure if I did that, it would look like a hot mess. All right, let's go grab our light peach. And again, just remember, light pressure, light pressure, light pressure. I don't tend to layer as much on the neck and body, and that's really just because I'm kind of lazy, but also just don't really need to as much as the face. The face has so much more contours and highlights, whereas the body is kind of self-explanatory. Big open space, add a highlight. I mean, I could draw on a collarbone, but I'm not that ambitious. Then I might blend these with my Caran d'Ache full blender or my Prisma. I haven't decided yet. But I probably won't blend the skin until we've done her hair and everything else. Ooh, this one's coming untaped. And the reason for that is I want to see how the hair looks and how her eyes and everything come out in case I want to darken or lighten her skin or give her some more blush. Because once you use a blender, you might accidentally burnish it. And once you burnish, wow, this thing is not staying on at all today. Yeah, once you burnish, you can't really add much. I'm not really digging the skin on here. I really need to practice doing more portraits from the side. I mean, this isn't grayscale. If it was grayscale, I think I would have this a lot more under control. All right, grab your white. But because it's not a grayscale, I'm just kind of like winging it here. I'm like, I'm pretty sure shadows go here and there. Okay. Let's get, so the bottom part of this, it's kind of weird. So on the other side, because at first I was like, oh, maybe that's a dress. But on the other side, it just keeps going too. So are they naked? I'm just gonna color this as her skin because I don't really have any indication otherwise. So we're just gonna call it skin, I guess. And hopefully, because Jamie is doing this picture and I haven't seen hers, so I have no clue how she approached it. I'll find out on Sunday when we, you know, kind of exchange, but it will be interesting. This will be a fun buddy color because it's like a genuine buddy color, you know, we're actually finishing pages together. I mean, obviously we can't do that with everyone we know in the coloring community because a lot of us don't live anywhere near each other. You know, some people I would love to do this with live in the UK, so I would have to like ship them my book, they ship theirs. That'd be one expensive buddy color, and long too, but I mean, it's still, it would be fun. It just lucked out that we live so close we could do this. All right, grab your peach, kind of just see how it goes. Yeah, it was an awesome idea. I honestly want to say, like, that would be kind of an arm right there. Actually, let me grab my nectar. We're going to make that an arm. Okay, go back to peach. Yeah, I am on the fence with the hair, so I'm definitely gonna have to pick out some colors for that. And what I might do is like kind of show you guys the gist of it and then finish the rest of the hair off camera. I find that's better than speeding a video up. You guys let me know in the comments below if you would rather just see it sped up with some music while I finish the hair, or if you're good if I'm just like, okay, I'll catch you guys on the flip side when we've all done our hair. So I definitely want to do more color alongs, but I want to do color alongs that everyone can follow and enjoy and hopefully learn something. And you don't always have to, like with color along videos, you don't have to actually color along. Like I watch a lot of color along videos just to learn techniques. There's so much to learn from people technique wise. Like I watch Zucchini Kitty, for example, just to see how she does distress ink. Even if I'm not working on that page or even have that book, I'm always watching hers just to kind of see what she comes up with with her inking, her mad inking talents. I got distress inks after watching her because I was like, oh my gosh, look at what she can do. And mine don't look like hers. Not even close. By the way, this is our light peach, if you couldn't tell, but I'm not doing the color cards today, and I probably won't edit it and like add it to it. And that's just because I wanted to try and make this as time savvy as possible. I figure as long as I tell you what color I'm using, it's probably not a big deal. Now, if you watch this on mute, that might be a big deal. But, because you'll have to let me know if you like the color cards or not. I use the color cards if I'm speeding it up and turning on some music, but if it's just me here actually chatting with you, I figure I could just tell you the color, and it saves prep time, that's for sure, from swapping back and forth and finding the color cards and all that glorious stuff. Okay, back to peach. Just adding a few touches here and there. Like I said, I'm not going to set the skin or blend it out because I don't want to finalize it. Only bummer is these are Prismacolors, so they are smushy and smudgy, so I have to be very careful as I'm working on everything else. I have so many new goodies to play with. Ooh, I even have gelatos I could use in the background. Ah, so many things. So many things I need to use. Okay, so for her face is definitely not done. I mean, I still want to play with it. I'm trying to make sure that the bridge of her nose is pretty obvious. Alright, I'll leave that for now. Let's get some lips going. We'll just do the good old garden variety pink lip. Let's get some Deco Peach and Pink. I think they're both sharpened enough. Okay. I'm not really going for super realistic look here. Okay, that was the pink, by the way. And then grab your Deco Peach. Just kind of go over that. Just remember to leave some white space for the gloss. Grab my Prismacolor white. And then just kind of go in that white space and accentuate where her lips will be all glossy. Might even take some of this Deco Peach and add it here to her eyes. Oops, half I was on camera. Okay. Alright, I think what I want to do next is hair, because we all know I love hair. I am going to do it with Prisma, so it won't be the same as usual hair. Slightly the same, but a few things are going to differ. So I think what I'll do is gather up some colors for hair real quick, and then I will be right back. Okay, I have decided we are going to do a purple pink hair. because why not? So for this, you are going to need black cherry PC1078, dark purple PC931, dahlia purple PC1009, mulberry PC995, and oh my gosh, what is this color? Process red PC994. That's one thing I hate about Prisma. Please move the name this way, guys. Just so obnoxious because the name is so far into the middle. But all right, so for her hair, I have not done this one outside of a Hannah Lynn book. But hey, the two Hannahs, so it should be fine. But I'm not gonna color this like Hannah Lynn hair. I'm gonna color this like real-ish hair. So let's just roll with it. All right, taking our black cherry. Nope, I lied. Because these are Prismacolors, we probably should base coat it. So take our process red and just very lightly coat that bad boy. This will actually make our life a lot easier when it comes to making this hair color. Okay, got out of the line there, but that's why they made erasers. Okay, so now with black cherry. So here is the thing with Prismacolors and hair. You cannot expect to flick away as you would with other pencil brands, harder leads. You kind of need to just expect that you're gonna have chunkier areas, but you still wanna flick it out, if that makes any sense. Definitely darken it there. Okay, grab your dark purple. Because I am giving this to Jamie, I'm going to spray it down. Since my side will be done, I'll just cover her side so the fixative doesn't get on there, but that way none of these smush all over. Okay, dark purple, nope, dahlia purple, sorry. So see, I'm still flicking, but not the same way I would normally do. Just coloring in a few areas as well. Okay, now grab your mulberry. And I'm just pulling from the ends. Just a teensy to add kind of that pop of heartier pink, as I'll call it. All right, grab your black cherry. The bottom, just kind of darken that, fill out any tooth. Turn your pencil as much as humanly possible. Do not use any heavy pressure. Normally when I flick, I would press down heavy and flick up. You cannot do that if you're using a Prismacolor. Okay, so now I'm taking my dark purple, just kind of lightly filling in some gaps. Okay, then back to my dahlia purple. Bring that around the ends. Just trying to cover the tooth down here. And then going back to my mulberry once more. Okay, and then grab the process red and just kind of fill that in. And then you can even, because these are smushable, get my hand out of the way, see, I can actually pull it down into my other colors and it will show up Whereas other pencils you can't do that with. Ignore the fact that I'm just totally going out of the lines. I'll totally get that with an eraser later. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's color a bigger chunk. It might be easier to see that way. So basically this is the highlight zone here. Like here's where I'm seeing my highlight. This highlight zone is going to go a little higher because the hair is lifting up. It's still going to come down here too though, but it's going to be higher. I'm thinking you don't need to base coat all the way to the bottom. Okay, so with our, I keep forgetting, black cherry. See how I'm kind of coloring, and I'm still pulling it out with sort of a flaking motion, just not as defined as I would with a normal, I shouldn't say normal, but a non-Prismacolor. Especially on this paper, because this paper is a little toothier than the paper I normally use for portraits. And this is just how I color hair. You can just use this combo and color however you want. I love this combo on Hannah Lynn pictures though, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Now we will take our dark purple. You can even add black if you want it darker. All right, Dahlia purple. dragging that, like covering some tooth, but also dragging it over our processed red. To keep thinking what that color is. So you'll see like a few areas I fill it in, a few others I just feather it out. Kind of depends on how much tooth is showing. Okay, now grab your mulberry. Same thing, fill in some tooth where you see necessary, pull it out. Not sure I'm digging this color, but we've committed because this is not one you want to erase. But I just didn't feel like doing normal hair. I wanted to do something fun. As long as I keep my shadows, and highlights, it'll turn out just fine. I do have a picture in one of these books where I actually sat down and spent the time making super realistic hair, and oh my, it took forever. I would have to stop, erase, because I was like, no, that's not close enough. All right, grab your dark purple. Just kind of fill in some tooth. The reason I'm doing this is I want it to definitely be purple coming off her roots. Now, I don't know about you guys, but tooth annoys me. Like, it has to be covered. It must be covered. It's like with the skin, we'll buff it out so it's covered. Okay. Grab your processed red and go ahead and kind of fill in the highlight zones, and then drag some of it into your darker areas. That's the great thing about Prisma. You can drag and smush it into even the darkest of colors. Just realized that probably means I need to give her some pink eyebrows. Okay, now grab your black cherry and just take it and really deepen up the areas near the roots where your shadows are, and even some of those lines. Of course, stay in the lines if you can. Down here, I definitely need to darken these. And you'll start to see the tooth go away as you keep adding more and more layers. It's kind of an odd paper. It's like smooth, but it has some tooth to it. It's like Johanna Basford is smooth, but I definitely don't have like tooth on it like this one. I might even make some of these dark along the lines here. Okay, I'm gonna grab my Dahlia purple. Just again, kind of go in where there's some tooth I want to cover, or areas where I feel like it's too pink in the highlight. Just kind of blend those in. think I hit that spot with process red. Grab my process red and get right here because I don't think I did. Okay. And mulberry. Use this closer to where the process red is than anything else. Helps tone down that hot pinkish look. Because again, this is just my highlight. I don't want her to have pink hair. Okay. Black cherry, nope, dark purple, sorry. Now I'm just kind of doing one last darkening of anywhere it looks too pink. Toning it down with my purple. Covering some tooth while I'm at it. You'll see there's not as much flicking here. It's kind of like just stopping in certain spots. You can totally flick hair with Prismacolors, don't get me wrong. You'll just be sharpening a bunch. You'll have to be a little bit more mindful of your points kind of thing. It's just a lot of extra work. I do have some hair requests for Prisma, so I need to play around with those. Because those are for more realistic hair ones, so I do need to flick those out. Okay. There, see, so it's like a dark purplish pink hair color. But I think that will look really good because we could even take, let's take the black cherry and make some eyeliner. Kind of bring it out like a cat's eye. Okay. And then some dahlia purple. Very lightly in her crease. Then take my mulberry. Give her some dramatic makeup, which I rarely do. Like all my Marielle Bedeck ones, they're pretty natural looking. I don't go crazy with the makeup. But I figure if she's gonna have purplish pink hair, she could probably pull it off. All right, and then I just grab my white. Go over that lightly. It helps tone it down a little. All right, and maybe I'll even take some of my process red. Add that into her lips a little here. I know she looks freaky right now, doesn't she? And then grab our pink again. Because we most definitely want to buff that out. Just layer it on top of it so it kind of tones down that process red. And then grab your blush, or sorry, Deco Peach. And then just go back in there with your white. Add that sheen again from her lip gloss. All right, so let me zoom you guys out. So here is where I'm at so far. What I think I will do is let's do the remaining hair off camera because we have a lot to go through, and it is using Prismacolors going to take a little while longer. Again, don't blend out her skin or anything like that. We want to wait until everything else is done. I might add some blush. I may add some sparkles. I don't know yet, but yeah, we'll finish her hair off camera. And then in part 2, I think we can start tackling, because her hair will all be done, and that's actually a lot of hair. I think in part 2 we'll start tackling this headpiece and then finish her eyes and skin, and we might be able to do everything else in part 2 because really it's just the jewelry and buffing out her skin and adding to it in the background. So yeah, this could be a 2-part. We may have the background on its own part. We'll see. But so far I think it's looking good. I know she looks super freaky right now, but like especially with the crazy pink makeup here and then just raw. But once her hair catches up to her, I think we'll look good. So yeah, guys, I will catch you on part 2. This is going to be really fun. I'm excited to see what Jamie is doing on hers, and I gotta start thinking of backgrounds now. So I will see you guys very soon.